stick their tongue to the pole. Don't let your kids stick their tongue to the pole in 30-degree weather or 25-degree weather to see if it sticks or not.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, please use that.
And we're going to continue the conversation about narcissists and all these things. And all the fun stuff and how to spot the narcissist in your relationship and in your business so your business can thrive. Because
it's important. Yeah. It's really important to know these things. Even if somebody's never been in a toxic relationship, it's still important because, like we were saying, like in business, you can still attract these people with clients, business partners, team members.
Yeah, my worst ones sometimes have been team members. I have to say a couple of my hires have been narcissists. And I mean, almost that's worse because, they build up that trust with you.
Yeah.
And, you think they're doing their job and then, of course they're not, and everything is your fault.
Right. Yeah. And if you've gotten as far as to hire this person, that was a whole journey to get to that point
and build that trust. And then
to find out. Yeah.
OMG, WTF, BBQ. You've got this wolf in sheep's clothing, So even if you were lucky enough to not make that mistake in your relationships, suddenly you've got that relationship in your business.
Yeah. And it is a doozy. I've heard women share that, it can get really bad depending on how bad the narcissist is and how much they attack you day in and day out and how you can handle it. Because if you've never been able to handle somebody like that, it can be freaking brutal. I've heard of even people being depressed over it, going into suicidal thoughts over it because they,
Yeah, you didn't ask for those.
Right. And what do you do if it's a business partner and they've invested in the business and you're in a contract together, you're in a partnership together, and if you walk away, you lose everything that you've built up and invested. Anybody would feel like, I'm screwed if I do that. So what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm screwed if I do, and I'm screwed if I don't, because this is taking me down.
Well, and I've already put this much into it, so I've got this fallacy of sunk costs on top of that. Well, I've spent all this money training this person, or, we're invested in this thing. How do I get out of this?
Yeah.
As quickly as possible.
Yeah. It can be brutal.
It is brutal. I mean, I've done it. I've dealt with it. And OMG. And I think that there's this thing too, because small business can and does bring out all of the head cases. I am absolutely convinced that, if somebody's even borderline narcissist, that being an entrepreneur is going to bring it out in them.
Yeah.
In some aspect, either, their relationships to their clients, their relationship with their employees, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea. Thank you. Just gave me a great idea to just talk about my ex-husband. And because we had a service business, air conditioning and appliances. And I remember I was constantly putting out fires with these customers who would say he did X, Y, and Z, like he got angry at them or he whatever. And then I was trying to resolve it, because if we got bad reviews on Google or with a Better Business Bureau,
it was your fault, of course.
Well, it was my fault, but also it screwed the business, because how are we going to attract new customers if there's bad reviews and we're like a D or a C on Better Business Bureau? So I was constantly putting out fires because of his behavior, his actions that he would do out in the field while I was inside taking care of everything else. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah. And I've had that, I hired somebody who was a contractor and they screwed shit up. Big time. Big time. I lost clients. My reputation was damaged.
Oh.
My business's reputation was damaged. And because they didn't accept responsibility for the problem and they were throwing my business under the bus, they were like, oh, I'll come over here with me because I'm so amazing. And obviously it's her fault. So, I'm going to take really good care of you. So they were taking clients away, bad mouthing me to clients. Oh, all the things, right? So you talk about that kind of behavior.
Smear campaign. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Right. And of course, I'm over here running your business for you. You're not doing anything in your business.
Right.
Because, they've got, it's that classic narcissist behavior. And I mean,
they're right, you're wrong.
Everything they do is right. And nothing they ever do is wrong. So obviously.
And it's your fault.
Of course. 100%. Right. Lesson I learned was to fire faster.
Yeah, right. Before you get deeper
into it.
Poo piles. Right. Yeah. So how can we avoid all of this for our listeners who are listening right now in your group? Like, I want to give them some tips of how to avoid all this. Because as you know, Haley, like it's a huge pile of crap that you have to.
It's a massive pile of crap. And if you let it go on, it's going to take you down.
So let me ask you this. How long did it take for you to like undo all the crap that person did in your business?
I'm still not done.
Oh, wow.
Months.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it took out.
Okay, so some of the steps that I wanted to share with the listeners is one easy step that you can test out is the no test. Say no to this person and watch for their reaction, because a narcissist, they're so manipulative. So first of all, if you do the no test, or when you do the no test, most likely their manipulation tactics are going to come in, which is where they're going to try to persuade you to think like them or their idea, or try to change your mind, right? Because this is where, like you were just sharing, your thoughts don't matter, your ideas don't matter, your whatever doesn't matter. It's the narcissist. They're right. So the no test, or if they get angry, if you stick to your no, they get angry, right? That's another way to know, like, this isn't, at the very least, this is somebody that I don't want to have on my team, I don't want to work with, or whatever. So you could try out the no test. And then, asking questions about you, or this is more for like a relationship, an intimate relationship, but asking questions about you, or do they just talk about themselves constantly? Because as you know, Haley's narcissists, they're, look at me, I'm so wonderful, or my ideas are so wonderful, and or they, they butt in. Did you experience that with the person that you're talking about, thinking about?
A bit, yeah. Well, and I would say, oh, look at all my qualifications. I'm so amazing. I'm so this. But, I will say that, once we started really examining their actual abilities, they were non-existent.
Right. Yeah.
The person is going to be like, oh, I can do everything. I'm amazing. I am God's gift to creation. And then lo and behold,
lies.
Yeah. Big lies.
Lots of lies. If I was to describe my ex-husband, one of the things that he used to say was he was a pathological liar. He lied a lot to everybody, and it wasn't even the same lie. Like
about everything, for things that don't matter.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Even for the smallest things. Yep. And I would say, like,
the sky is blue. No,
why?
it's green.
Yeah. And I would always think, like, why would you lie about that? That's
Just
I
pointless.
couldn't understand. Why
And you
would
get
you
to
lie
that,
about that?
how do you know they're lying? Their lips are moving.
Like they say about car salesmen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which there's certain careers, there's certain job titles that there are more narcissists in that
In that
field or
career.
whatever, yeah, than not. And that's one of them, car salesman. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they are, master manipulators.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can detect this early on and know this type of behavior and see it and be like, so I was sharing earlier today about one of the experiences that I've had. So even me, who teaches this stuff, who had gone through it, had got caught up with
Mm-hmm.
a narcissist in a business transaction. So
Mm.
it was an event that this person wanted to do. And she was like, let's do this event. It was myself, her, and another person. So I was like, okay, great. This is a great idea. And it would be a speaking event. We'd be in front of people, which I'm all about. And we started to we all divided it up because, there's an investment. You got to get the venue and the blah, 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 all the stuff, right? So we started doing that. And we were selling the tickets at like $75 each. So when it came down to getting very close to the event date, we had very little tickets sold. So I suggested, because I thought it wouldn't be fair for however many people we really had low ticket sales, I don't remember, under 10. It wouldn't be fair to the people who have spent $75 per ticket to go to an event that they were promised it was a networking event. So they'd be able to, because they were business owners too,
Mm-hmm.
to network. So I suggested, let's reschedule the date so that we have more time to sell more tickets. Well, that was not a good idea. She thought, that's not a good idea. These people bought their tickets and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't I was just suggesting maybe that's an idea, because I just didn't think it was fair for the 4 under 10 people who bought the tickets. Well, so prior to that, I had already decided I was going to cut ties with her, because I already saw, Denise, you're mixing with a narcissist. The very thing that you teach about, you got mixed up with. Because here's another thing that they do. She was constantly trying to draw me into her world. So she had a business, a nonprofit, and she wanted me to be some kind of title in her business, which is all fine and dandy, but I got my own thing going. I cannot take on another title to somebody else's business. That takes time and effort and energy, and yeah. I know, they're energy suckers. See, you just got the
energy vampires. Yeah, no. And
yeah.
I'm thinking about, there are certain industries for sure where I can say, yeah, they target, oh, well, you seem like an energetic enough person. Let's get you involved in this because I'm sure you'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. You don't actually have any interest in it, but I'm sure you'd be great at it if you worked at it.
Right. Because I want you to do it. I think you'd be great. Right.
You'd be great.
Wait, did you ask me if I want to do this? This is supposed to be a two-way thing here. It's not just what you want and take it.
Yeah.
And that's their attitude. They see something, they want it, they take it. No questions asked.
Nope.
Because your needs don't matter. Your wants don't matter.
Nope. Not at all.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a challenge. It's really a balance of give and take. Two, understanding, where this crosses that line too with, somebody who's been told, and I think about, direct sales or something where they're trying to get somebody in to do something, and people are kind of fed this story, hook, line, and sinker of, oh, well, you need to get people in. So you do this versus, people that are truly like a head case too.
Mm-hmm.
True narcissists versus somebody who's been told, hey, I think that this is how you do it. So you get the poor deer in the headlights who's like, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go tell people this.
Yeah. Another sign is love bombing.
Oh.
Love bombing in business, though. So I had this experience where I was networking face to face. Remember those days?
I actually went to a BNI meeting today.
Sweet.
Let me know if you'd like to come. We'll be there next Wednesday and the week after that too.
Sweet. So in this networking, I met this woman and I noticed right away she was love bombing me. And I was like, so love bombing. So in like a intimacy relationship, it's too much too soon, meaning like I love you before you even know me,
right.
or let's move in together, or let's get married or get engaged or whatever. In an intimacy relationship. So in business, she was love bombing me by like overly praising my work and what I do. And I was just picking up like this off feeling that she was giving me. And that's what I always share with women is trust that off feeling that you're getting because it's telling you the truth. So it was my first time that I really remember or had detected being love bombed in a business situation, because usually so narcissistic behavior is always the same. It's always predictable. It's always the same. And this is why sharing this over and over again is so good, so that people can really take this in, hearing it over and over again, take this in and be able to detect, so they save a lot of time and energy. And like for you, business stuff, money, clients, and for me, 22 years of being married to one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love that side look.
Yeah, like, no, I'm like, yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. It can be,
the damage is real. And
it is.
I mean, it's,
yes.
The other one I get is people will approach me who I don't know, because I have this really huge Facebook group, and they don't bother to really build a relationship with me. And the next thing I know, they're saying, hey, do you want to be an affiliate for what I do? Do you want to sell my stuff? Do you want to do this? Or do you want to do a partnership, where their idea of a partnership is, hey, you sell my stuff. Okay, so basically I'm
one-sided.
Commission-based salesperson for your stuff, but I don't particularly know you very well. Or
at all. Yeah. Yeah.
And just to be clear on the record, Denise and I have known each other for what, 5 years? 4 years?
Longer, I think.
4, 5, 6? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
The two of us are going, how long have we known each other? It's been a while.
It has been a while. Yeah.
And I mean, and that's important, is that relationship piece, not going and getting married to somebody on the first date.
Or 2 weeks. Yeah. Or a couple of months. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I came to you, right? That was one of the first things that I said to you, is because I know you, I trust you, I like you. I know your capabilities, and that's why I came to you and started this partnership, like, client coach relationship, because I know what you can do. And and that's really important. There's been a relationship built up between you and I
for
before
years.
There was,
And, and it's important too, to really learn to, not to hammer on a dead horse, but like seriously learning to spot the head cases and the people that you're dealing with these narcissistic tendencies and these personality disorders in business. Because clients that are narcissistic, situations that are narcissistic, all of that, learning how to spot those from a mile away is super important. I mean, because you get clients who are coming to you at a situation after they've been in a really horrible place in their lives and they're trying to not repeat it. I kind of get the same thing. I get people who come to me for digital marketing, who are having me fix a website that's been half done. I'm looking at one tonight that somebody's asking me for a quote on, and I'm like, this is a WordPress site. There's no favicon set on it. You know, there's text that's overlapping things, and you know, and then, you know, like, I have to be able to build that level of trust with them and understand back and forth and understand where they're coming from, that level of hurt, because a lot of times people's businesses have really been hurt.
Yeah.
And like, I was having a really frank discussion with somebody tonight as I'm working on their Google ads. He's like, I'm just trying to give you information. And I'm like, no, actually, I really, really appreciate the fact that you're giving me like this depth of information, so I'm able to ramp up a lot faster on your ad accounts than, you know, I might otherwise. Because yeah, he's had somebody who's running, you know, crazy amounts of money to the front page on his website. And he's like, I never thought that was right. And I'm like, no, it's not.
See, he knew. He said it.
Your gut will tell you.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and that's just the thing, is I keep saying, you know, there's a lot of people who get into business because they've got some of this stuff going on already in their personality.
Yep.
And, you know, if you're hiring people, you've got to know who you're hiring is not one of those head cases.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and the game is almost like the avoid the head case clients, avoid hiring head cases, avoid hiring people who are narcissists as employees and having relationships with them. Oh my, what a pain in the ass.
Yeah. That's always what I say, is go with your gut. Your gut will always, always tell you the truth. And you don't even have to know why. You don't need to see our minds, our egos try to figure everything out because our minds are such control freaks.
Yeah.
So when we get this gut feeling, we're like, well, we try to figure it out. Well, and also a lot of times if it looks good, like if a client is going to pay or a business partner is going to invest, or if we're talking about dating, he looks good on paper. And so we ignore the gut feeling because on the surface, it looks like it's a great idea.
Well, and it's going to pay my bills, and I'm going to keep a roof over my head and food in my belly.
Yeah.
I will say I have had clients that were a complete pain in the ass, you know, like intentionally demanding pains in the asses. Not just somebody who I'm like, yeah, your stuff has just been messed up and we're just cleaning it up. But, you know, yeah, you get some people who are, and you got to know which ones are which and be able to spot them and cut the ties quick.
Well, and yeah, cut the ties quick. And my whole thing is I would love to share this information so that they don't even get into these types of relationships to begin with. They can see it so clearly from the beginning that they don't even enter these relationships and avoid all of what we've been talking about. A lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy, then we go into self-blame. We go into our beating ourselves up like, oh my gosh, how could you be so stupid? How could you let that happen again? You know, and all of that. That's unnecessary too.
You were so right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're doing a 3-day challenge the end of this month and beginning of next month. Tell me about that.
So it's a 3-day challenge, how to heal your heart and find true love after toxic love. It's where we show up in a group setting on Zoom, and I teach on the topics that I teach my clients. So the one thing that I love about doing challenges, whether it's a paid or a free, I love to just share the information to give the audience like the key points that they really need to have to move out of this. So yeah, we're going to do it. It's a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And the challenge part is, will you show up? Will they show up to get this information? Right? That's the challenge. Show up. That's half the battle, right?
Actually, like, yeah, put your butt in the room.
Yes. It's 3 days. Yeah. If this has been a pattern in your life, you definitely want to eliminate it. So show up. Come and I'll show you exactly how I did it.
I think I'm going to be there, honestly, just
Yay!
to get rid of the my goal is to figure out how to never ever hire a crappy person again, and how to not get hired by somebody who I don't want to be hired by.
Right. Both.
Both.
Yep. That's awesome.
And learn to spot them for my kids. Not that they would listen to me, but
Well, okay, that's a great point that you just brought up. So healing, because that's all this is, right? It's healing, it's
all
shifting
healing.
the energy. It has a ripple effect. So for me, because my children went through a lot of trauma and drama, saw their dad do crazy stuff. And when I went into my healing journey, they started to show up differently. So my daughter started to read books that were all personal growth and self-love books. I didn't tell her to do these things. She just did them on her own. Then my son, who's a carbon copy of his father, started saying, okay, Mom, I see this, in my relationship. Okay, coach me. And I was like, what? Who am I talking to right now? So healing
Where's the heart
is
emoji when I need it?
right? So healing has a ripple effect. It's like you are the pebble in the flat lake, and because you heal, it ripples out. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I found that to be true in my family as well.
See?
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazing how it works. It's
when
so
you take
it's
back,
magical.
When you take back that control and you
Mm-hmm.
start healing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
everything else gets better.
Yep. That's right. Starts with the people closest to you, the people around you. So for you, husbands, kids, for anybody else, it's those people the closest to you, and then it ripples out. Because sometimes having a healthy relationship in your family is not having a relationship at all. So I tell people I have a healthy relationship with my ex-husband who's a narcissist. You know what that is? No contact for 10 years. That's a healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not dealing with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and the only thing you can control in life really is what you think, how you act, and how you feel.
100%. Yes.
And you have that control to decide no contact.
Yep. Draw a line in the sand. Not going there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And isn't
Boundaries.
it beautiful?
Yes.
How does that feel afterwards?
Freedom. That's always the first word that comes to me is freedom. Freedom to be me, freedom to not deal with all that, freedom, just space, a lot of space and freedom.
Yeah, leaving that and breaking that narcissistic cycle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So statistically, how many women or men who have been in a relationship with a narcissist repeat the pattern?
Unless they heal, it will repeat.
So almost 100% will repeat.
Yes. If they don't do the middle piece. So this is what I say. When you go from the toxic relationship into another relationship, there has to be that middle piece. And the middle piece is healing. Because all this is just emotional wounds. That's all it is. There's nothing wrong. These women and men aren't damaged. There's nothing broken about them. It's just wounds. And the wounds just need to heal. And once those wounds heal, then they will not repeat the same pattern as before, because they're not the same person as they were as the wounded person. It's different. They're different. So they attract different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you heal, you attract different relationships in love.
Yep.
In business.
Yep.
Your clients, your employees.
All the way around.
All the way around.
Yep. Everything and everybody. It's magic.
And a lot of people wonder, and a lot of people are like, well, it's not my fault that I'm attracting these people.
Correct. It's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's just, it just is. It's just a thing. It's just a thing you have to move out of the way. That's all it is. It's nobody's fault. But it's just something that needs attention. It's just something that needs, to be looked at, shined upon.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And it doesn't take years to do either.
Nope. It doesn't. It sure doesn't. Love it. So we're going to give you all the link to the challenge. The challenge is getting your butt in the seat.
Yep.
Showing up in the room.
When it's ready. The link's not ready yet.
Yeah, well.
I have somebody working on it.
So we're telling you the challenge is there. Mark your calendar down for January 31st, February 1st, and 2nd.
Yep. I can't wait.
This.
I love doing this. Yes.
Woohoo! Thank you guys. Take care.
Bye.
I'll see you later. Bye-bye.